Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have pretty much a thread on the forums. I wanted to kind of cover this in one of my dev talk videos, and some of the information that we are going to see in here was covered in some of my previous dev talk videos, but there's been a lot of dev responses, a lot of dev info that have to do with pretty much the economy overall in the game, and I thought why not just go over the whole thread, go over all the dev responses, and give you guys just like an overlook on obviously Caravan, item prices, the demand, supply, and all of that that's included. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go back over here, and we're going to go over like obviously the main questions. Then we're going to go over most of the dev replies, right? And we're going to skip some posts as well, but like mostly what I want to show you guys off is pretty much what the devs have to say to certain questions, and give you guys some more information on how the game's economy works overall, right? So like I said before, like the first two pages of dev replies, we have actually seen these in the past dev talk videos that I have done. But for people who did miss that, I am going to go over them as well. But the last two pages, pages 3 and 4, we have a lot of dev replies that I did not go over yet. But I just decided to make an overall video, the one I'm making right now. So it's going to be a little bit longer video. So let's do it. So let's read the question. I posted this in 1.4.3, also since it was a hotfix issue, but I wanted to get maximum exposure since it's a huge issue for trading, caravans, and workshops. Item prices differentiate more among settlements, so merchant players and caravans can make better profits. That is the beta hotfix for 0730, when in fact it did the opposite. Prices are now closer together, so there is less profit margin for anyone. If a solution can't be found soon, they should at least remove the hotfix for now. While this is good for people who, okay, I don't know what he means by that. While this is good for people who had food for armies, and it is a disaster for any trader build in caravans and workshops. Please check into this ASAP. This is a huge issue that needs to be resolved. As a trader, you are virtually worthless now. Okay, so give you guys some backstory. So a hotfix came out on the 30th, like he stated before, for 1.4.3, and that ruined a lot of item prices in the game. This has since been fixed in the next hotfix that we did get after this one. I mean, no, the next hotfix we got after the 30th, right? I don't remember exactly what day it was, but yeah, that was fixed. And this developer is going to kind of explain how it was fixed. So, yeah. Let's get to the dev reply. So I've read several times, but I do not understand completely. Did you say your caravans did not make enough? Lots of players approved their caravans are making profit, and merchant players make better profits while trading after hotfix. I also tested one caravan for 3 years, and you see that the caravan is making 250 daily in average, 60k in 30 years. I said 30 years, in 3 years. Every game is different. There could be lots of reasons if your caravans cannot make enough profit. So here's some info for you guys. So do not form more than one caravan in the same town, or close towns for example. This reduces your profit from caravans, or if caravan faction is at war with lots of factions. So it cannot make profit because it can't enter the towns. So let's say you're at war with 3 or 4 kingdoms that are surrounding your kingdom. If you make a caravan in one of your towns, guess what? He can't enter any of the enemy towns, so therefore he can't make the profit that he needs to make. So if you really want to make profit, you got to make peace. And also, like he states here, what's it called? Don't form more than one caravan in the same town or close towns, because obviously it's going to reduce the profit for both caravans, because they're going to have to kind of share the marketplace, if that kind of makes sense. But we did go over this post, and yeah, we did go over this post before. Now let's keep looking down, We got thanks for all the feedback. Currently, I'm trying to balance notable powers. After this, I'll check consumptions and item prices again. Okay. So now we have a statement, and that's how he replies. So all the villages can produce 20,000 units of fish per year, but the people of the whole Calradia can only consume 5,000 units. And we all know that this will happen next, a deflation. So we did go over this as well. So the devs reply, how did you calculate these two numbers, 5,000 and 20,000? I'm asking because I do not see hundreds of fish in town inventories. Numbers are normal, but prices are around 12 to 25 dinars generally. Yes, differentiation is low, but this can be But this is special for the fish example. Fish is produced in all of Calradia equally. It's hard to find a town to sell fish for 30 because all have at least 10 to 20 fish. I think one reason if caravans and trading players cannot make enough profit is high default trade penalty, so I will reduce it to 8%. So like I said before, this change was also made as well. It used to be 10% for the longest, which was your trade penalty, which is like, I guess, like a tax, right, that they take out whenever you do, how to explain it. So like the market, best way I can explain the high trade penalty is like you might see in the town that let's say fish, for example, it's worth 30, right? Like that might be the price that they want to sell to you for. You can buy it from them, but if you sell it back to them, you have to take that 10% out, which is 3. So the highest you can sell it back to them at is 27. So it's that little, you know what I mean? That little penalty. But yeah, so this one, he's pretty much stating that, you know, fish obviously are produced in all of Calradia, like all over the map, kind of equally, same way as grain. So they're not the best example to use when it comes to deflation or regular prices, right? Because they're going to be regular prices throughout the map. They're not like really a trade good. They're more of just like a very cheap food resource. What else we got? We got, yes, if trade penalty default drops to 8% from 10%. Also, all caravan profits will be affected a bit positively. Yes. Let's move on to the next page. Okay, here we go. We got another statement. So I'm not sure if this is related to the trade penalty, but what really bothers me is how fast the price drops. If I'm not mistaken, I need to go sell 6 clay to make the price drop from 30 to 25. On 1.4.1 or 1.4.2, I think I could sell at least 50 clays to have the same price drop from 30 to 25. I just made a test with salt. The city had a selling price of 54 for salt, and I had a stock of 8. After selling 8 units, the price is already down to 48. The adjustment of price should take way more units to stabilize. In this patch, I can't make more than 2k profit per city. Okay, so this player is pretty much stating that, you know, obviously the price drop is very dramatic now just by selling, you know what I mean, a very small amount of a set resource. The price drops dramatically by a lot, right? Obviously selling 6 clay and the price drops by 5 is kind of, you know, it's out there. So the devs reply, I examined the situation. By the way, this was we also covered this as well. So I examined the situation a bit. Faster price drops while selling is not so illogical in your samples because you're selling clay at nearly highest price, which is 30. Okay, so without trade penalty, it should be 33. So it is near 1.7 times the original price. After you sell 6 clay, raw price moves from 33 to 29 in my opinion, and this is not so illogical. You should make profit by selling items to different towns. After you sell 6 clay, their clay demand is a bit equalized, especially if the town has a small prosperity of below 4,000. Codes in these areas did not change much. Only demands are a bit reduced. Maybe you should sold clay in your previous play to a town with 10k prosperity. In any case, 10% default trade penalty is so high I will reduce it. Making 1 to 2k from one city trade is not low. You can make better trade profits by selling different items. If you focus only 1, 2, 3 items, they will not bring enough profit. Okay, so he's saying obviously differentiate and get a lot of different items that you can sell. Again, I continue examining. Maybe we should also drop troop wages a bit. Money is hard to win compared to previous versions. That is true. If you upload a sample save game where I can see a huge price drop while selling 6 clay, I can examine better. In my samples, I see slower price drops for clay, low priced item. Okay, so pretty much in this one, he's stating that obviously the price drop, it does make sense. Clay in this example, and I'm guessing salt in this example, they're very they're low priced items in general, so the price drop, you know what I mean, it stays kind of low. Also, as you can see right here by this information, if a town has less than 4,000 prosperity, there's a bigger chance that the price will equalize a lot faster, so the price will drop a lot faster because obviously they don't need as much of said resource, right? But if a town has, let's say, 10k prosperity, they need a lot more of that same resource, so their price drop is going to drop slower, if that kind of makes sense. And And obviously, if you want to make more profit than 1 to 2K, which in my opinion, it's still substantial, right? 1 to 2K for trading, let's say one item at a time, is substantial. But if you want to make more, obviously differentiate your items, get or diversify your inventory that you're willing to trade, and go from there. Alrighty, got a small change coming up. Okay. Here it is. Okay, I know you got a lot on your plate, but no proof. Well, hold on. Okay, I know you got a lot on your plate, but no proof. But I think I figured out the economic problem as the game goes on, and it ties into the Caravan problem. As I said, Caravans face huge looter and bandit parties late game, so it's obvious to assume so do villagers. If they are constantly getting captured because of huge packs of bandits, that they won't get their goods to the town, which explains why towns are running low on supplies, and therefore prices are skyrocketing. Turn 1 grain average price of 9 to 10, then turn 12,000 grain is 12, and fish is 16. I have no proof of this, but it completely makes sense. A cut down of bandits spawning and max party size would solve both issues, I think, or just cut down the spawn and increase caravan size to compensate for the bandits. Just another idea to give you because it makes so much sense and explains everything. Okay, so what the player pretty much is saying is, by the way, we have gone over this as well, but the player is pretty much saying, hey, so I think I figured out the problem. I think the problem is there's a lot of bandits and they attack a lot of the villagers, a lot of caravans, so therefore the resources don't get to the town, and the town then has low resources, which makes the prices skyrocket. So he states that either cut down the size of the bandits or the amount of bandits that are out, or increase caravan sizes, pretty much. I know there's a 50%, and this is the developer responding, I know there's a 50% inflation in item price averages in 10 to 15 in-game years, but I think its reasons is not bandits, but prosperity and consumption increases. I will examine it. Okay, so the developer pretty much states that he doesn't think that the problem is bandits. He thinks that the problem is obviously the prosperity that constantly gets increased, and obviously more prosperity equals more consumption. So if the production isn't making up for all the consumption, obviously towns are going to have less resources because more stuff is being consumed than actually produced. Alrighty, so here we go. We've gone over this as well. So I'm gonna keep quiet after this one. As to me, caravans are the worst right now. I talked to a few people from my YouTube channel, and they say the same thing: 30 to 60 days per caravan loss. I spend a lot of my time either recovering captured companions and sending them out, or defeating huge bandit parties. Talking 50 to 80 size groups are also found on the map 1,300 days in. So to me, getting that caravan size increase means more than anything. So to let you finish all the stuff you got going on, I'll keep posts silent and let you get to work. Thanks for everything. Okay. So he pretty much still states that, hey, I'm still losing my caravan every 30 to 60 days, and there's the huge bandit sizes still on the map. So the developer responds, I examined your save file. It starts on spring 10th, 96. I ran the game 3 years, and any of your caravans did not get destroyed. So none of your caravans got destroyed. Actually, this is not what I want. At least some of them should be destroyed because caravans should be risky investments. They bring good money. As you can see in the screenshot, your money became 1.5 million in 3 years, which means that your 7 caravans bring 1.3 million in 3 years. 7 times 3 equals 21 caravans. Divided by years is 1.3 million, which means that caravans would bring 60k per year and 700 dinars a day. So each caravan would bring you 60k per year, or 700 dinars a day. This is really huge money. I cannot understand how you see your caravans are destroyed. Even in my run of 3 years, any of your caravans did not get destroyed. Now I will run again. It is weird you say 30 to 60 days per caravan lost, but I did not see any one of your caravans lost in 246 days. That's 3 years times 82 days in your save file. So by the way, if you guys didn't know, 82 in-game years, 82 in-game days equals 1 year in the game. And by this post, the developer states that, he ran the game for 3 years, and none of the caravans got captured. And this was on the person's save that is making the statement that his caravans are lost after 30 to 60 days. He also states that 7 caravans altogether made 1.3 million for the player in 3 years, which is about 60K per caravan per year. And he says this is big money. And here's the thing, guys. Here's my opinion on it, right? So a lot of people want to make more money with it. They say, oh, that's nothing. I can make more money fighting lords and stuff. I think that's the point, guys. I think the point is they don't want to make this... they don't want to make something automated like caravans or workshops make you an obscene amount of money, because then what's the point of actually playing the game if you can just progress by waiting in a town while your caravans and all that collect all the money for you. Caravans and workshops, they're supposed to make you money, but at the same time, they're passive income. You know, passive income is, it should be a lot less than your actual active income, which is you going out and obviously either trading for yourself or obviously getting in battles and selling the gear and stuff of that nature. That should be the main money maker, obviously, because that's the one you have to work for. The passive one should be on the backhand and should kind of, you know what I mean? It should help you out, but at the same time, a caravan shouldn't make more than, let's say, you owning a castle or a town, because obviously that wouldn't make sense. So I think it's at a good spot, in my opinion. I know some people want to disagree with me, and like I said before, we did talk about this earlier in a different video, so people said that this is some kind of propaganda. But in my opinion, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. It's kind of true what he's saying. I understand that. And I know people are going to make the concept like, oh, well, all my caravans die in 30 to 60 days. I've seen caravans die in 30 to 60 days. That's not what the developer is saying. He's just saying on average that, you know, some caravans do make it to 3 years. You know what I mean? And a lot of them do make it in 3 years. This is also depending on your difficulty. Remember this. If you are playing on realistic, more caravans will get captured. Just remember that. If you're playing on easy, less caravans will get captured. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But in my opinion, I think passive income should not make you, you know what I mean, riches. I think it should keep you above, you know what I mean? It should give you some good income. And, yeah. So then we got, did you reset the difficulty back to realistic? Sorry, I forgot. We'll try again. Okay, so by the way, this one that took, where the caravans made 1.3 million in, what would you call it? In 3 years. This was done on easy. And now the developer, if we go to this page, he's going to pretty much talk about his experience after 3 years on realistic settings. And I think that's the last part that we... yeah, so this is the last one that we covered in previous videos. And all the info after this, all these dev replies are going to be new content for you guys. Or, you know, obviously the whole thing's new content if you didn't catch my dev talk videos, right? Because they were kind of spread apart in different type of videos, some of these dev responses. So okay, I run your save game again. Sorry, I can't read sometimes. 3 years with realistic settings. 3 out of 7 of the caravans are destroyed in my 3 years of run. I will run more. So obviously, like I say, it's right here. On realistic settings, instead of no caravans being destroyed, 3 out of the 7 caravans are destroyed, which is still not bad. In any case, caravans are so profitable, so it is normal that they are destroyed time to time. Again, see, like the devs never stated that they shouldn't be destroyed. They should. They are a risky investment. You know, caravans equals high risk and high profit. Workshops equal low risk and low profit. There it is. And I know sometimes people want to make the the parallel, like what's it called? Of, oh, well, a workshop town can get captured and then you won't have it anymore. But at the same time, you have a chance to defend a workshop, right? Caravans, they go throughout the whole map and there's not really much of a chance to defend it. So it is, you know what I mean? The workshops are a lot low risk. And you can put the workshops so far and deep into your kingdom in a town that has such a high prosperity in such a high militia and garrison to the point where it's never going to get taken. You know what I mean? So yeah, workshops are low risk and low profit. And if it's low risk, it should be low profit. You know what I mean? I don't think workshops should be making crazy amounts of money anyways. And caravans, obviously high risk, high reward. If we increase caravans party supply to 40/50, they will not be destroyed. This is not the case that we want. Then caravans will be like the smithing javelin mechanic. See, as you can see right here, the developers obviously know about the javelin mechanic that is overpowered right now. Hopefully the people in charge of smithing fix it eventually. I know it's fun. I get it's fun. I had my fun with it too, but it's broken. It's just the truth. It's broken, and yeah, it makes the game very linear, and I don't think that's good for the game. What else? The whole party increase from 40 to 50. Yeah, I agree. Then we'll really won't be attacked because like before. See, like here's the thing. The reason why people loved caravans before the update to make them 30 is because they never got destroyed. You can just buy a caravan the same way you could buy a workshop and they'll never get destroyed. And by the time they do get destroyed, you're like, whatever. That's been running for years. I've been making millions. That's not the point. That's not how it's supposed to be, you know? And if we're talking about like, obviously this is taken in the medieval setting. A lot more bad stuff should happen. A lot more unfortunate stuff should happen in terms of like obviously your income or your this. It wasn't so easy back in the day to just be like, oh, I'm going to buy a workshop and it's just going to make me profit for the rest of my life. Or, oh, I'm going to buy a caravan and it's just going to make me profit for the rest of my life. Trust me, that's not how it was. There was a lot of issues and a lot of different, you know what I mean? It wasn't as simple as, the game makes it seem out to be. But yeah, I understand that obviously increasing it to 40, 50 would make them kind of, you know what I mean? Not even targetable, really. This is not the case that we want. Then caravans will be okay. So we read that. Maybe we can add a new feature in the future, where you can talk to your caravan master and you can say, "Do not go to specific areas." This will reduce profits, but they will last more years. So boom, you can. They're thinking about a feature where you can tell your caravan master a certain route to take, or certain places to stay out of. Like let's say there's enemy territory, you're gonna be like, "Hey, don't go there." Obviously, your profits might tank, but at the same time, they're going to last for more years. Maybe that kind of stuff can be okay. Or maybe one trade per gives +5 caravan party size. That would be also good, +5 is it's just a little bit more. It's nothing crazy, but of course it would help, right? Even in this scenario, 3 caravans are destroyed. 3 years run ended with 1 million. Money starting and with 0.2. Wait. 3 years run ended with 1 million and the money started with 0.2. So caravans are still OP. You invest 20k and then they return 120k in average in 3 years. I understand you want to have full ability to control your caravan, but it will not end with a fun game mechanic. Maybe current scenario is not fun too. Each time finding your hero in a random settlement after your caravan is destroyed is not a fun mechanic. I accept, but at least it's balanced and currently not so OP. Here's a hot take. I think caravans are in a good spot right now. That's just my hot take. I know people might not agree. People might say, oh, my caravans are doing... I think they're in a good spot. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just my overall opinion. And like you said before, it's on average. On average, obviously there are extremes. Obviously, you can get unlucky. Obviously, if you're playing ultra realistic and you're at war with everybody, obviously your caravans are going to get captured more. You know what I mean? There's a lot of obviously's in this, and there's a lot of like different outstanding factors that can make your caravans either last a really long time or not last at all. But on average, you know what I mean? They do return a profit. Does that kind of make sense, right? But all right, let's move on. What else do we got? Oh, we got a lot more. All right. So, hi Mexico, I sent you save files to your email. Please see my description in the email. If you can, please try to make money by trading goods in 1.3 beta to see if there's a problem with goods hoarding. There's no problem with the caravan. Okay. I see your mail. I also examined day prices as you said, and I see no problem. Let me give you one clue. If caravans can make up to 800, he said euros. If caravans can make up to 800 dinars a day average, this means as players you can pretty much make the same profit too. Caravans are not cheating. They are buying and selling goods too. Also, their party size is only 30, so they carry less. Okay. They are not buying and selling items at the same time all the time. Wait. I'm sorry. He's kind of like running on sentences. So they are buying, selling goods too. Also, their party size is only 30, so they can carry less. Also, they are not buying/selling items they're not buying/selling same items all the time, so you can follow them. so there is no problem in prices. If all prices are so close, so how Caravans can make that much profit? Later I will post here a price map from your save. If I find time, however, there are more important issues right now. I need to look into War and Peace algorithms. Okay, so he pretty much explains that, you know, caravans aren't really like just giving you random income just out of nowhere, like some kind of algorithm. What caravans pretty much do is they go into towns, they buy, they sell, and then they go to different towns and they buy and sell. They do, you know what I mean? They pretty much, they're their own entity that, you know what I mean, is trading. And obviously they have a party size of 30, so they can carry, so they can't carry as much stuff as a player can carry, because obviously they can grow their party to an incredibly large size, so therefore can make a lot more profits. Let's see. Thank you very much. I put 3 days into that. Okay, so we have a video. So we had a video on it. Okay. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to analyze. But in fact, players don't know the market well like AI, and players also need to pay wages for the large troops. If you don't trade by yourself, you won't know this difference. This directly affects the player's early stage gaming experience. Maybe it's better to let a specifically assigned person test this. Okay, but okay, here's my reply before I read the what you call it, the dev reply. So in fact, players don't know the market well like the AI. You can learn the market. You can learn the market. Go into the taverns. Go talk to people. They're gonna tell you, hey, this sells good here, that sells good there. Boom, boom, boom. You get a little notepad. I did this when I first began the game. I got a little notepad. I wrote, olives sell good at this town, this town, this town. This sells good at this town, this town, this town. And over time, you're gonna learn the things. You know what I mean? Obviously, the AI know better than you at the beginning, but you can really, you know what I mean? You can find the sweet spots. You can find all the good stuff. Plus, there are a lot of what's it called, tutorials out there, so you can learn the markets. Players also need to pay wages for the larger troops. Yes, but caravans also pay wages for their troops. If you don't trade by yourself, you won't know this difference. It's directly refers to early stage gaming experience. Look, here's the thing also. I think that while the reason why a lot of people, they kind of don't like the fact that it's not the most simplest thing, and like they have losses when it comes to trading and caravans and stuff of that nature. I think that that's good. You know what I mean? Like, how can I explain it? I don't think the game should be so easy to the point where every decision you make results in a positive, if that kind of makes sense. I want a game where if you make the wrong decision, if you buy the wrong item, if you get a caravan and it just gets destroyed because you put it right next to where your enemy bases are, I think there should be a negative to your decision making. You know what I mean? At the same time, yeah, some game mechanics can be improved, but sometimes you do need a grind. Sometimes you do have losses. That's just how life is. Look, I have so I do YouTube. I have a job, and I also do this I resell stuff online, and pretty much, you know, there's a lot of times where I'll buy something, and because of my poor decision making, I buy something that's never gonna sell, and then I just have to sell it at a very cheap price, or you know what I mean, or I have to just donate it back. It is what it is. But I feel like in a game, I like games where they do kind of, you know, punish a bad decision and reward a good decision, if that kind of makes sense. So I think, you know, obviously, like right here, it affects the player's early stage gaming experience in a way, but look, if you're smart about it, you can find a way how to make the market work. You can find a way how to pay your troops by either doing, you know, doing quests, you know, taking out hideouts, taking out bandits, doing stuff, you know, stuff like that. Like, I think, you know, that's more on the player's aspect. There are ways to make good money in the game. There are. You know, I'm not even talking about the whole smithing thing. Like, there are good ways to make money, and there are good ways to, you know what I mean, grind to get to certain points. And I think that's, you know what I mean, I think that's fine where it's at. So let's read the dev response. Caravans also pay wages. You do not see this in the finance summary. When you get up to 800 euro profit. Wait a minute, hold on. Caravans also pay wages. You do not see this in the financial summary. When you get up to 800 euro profit, is profit remained after their pay their wages. Okay, so before you, like, I think I'm pretty sure they stated this in patch where they stated that caravans, before you actually see your profit, they have to pay their wages. Same thing with parties. So if you see a negative, it's because they didn't have enough for the wages even. So therefore, you're going to see a negative that you need to pay the difference of. But if you see a positive, that means they already paid their wages, and this is all the bonus money on top of that. This means they make more than 1K daily because 0.2/0.3 goes to wage payments. Okay. Also, caravans do not have so key extra info. If dates are cheap at south and expensive in north, or olives are cheap in west and expensive in east, it's a general info that does not change much during the game. Okay, any random city does not have to be so extreme prices for any item at any time. Okay, if olives are 30 in a city and it is 25 or 35 in a neighboring city, generally, if you go to a city and by accident, if a new caravan stole olives, there it can be bad for a caravan too, so you do not have to sell your olives there and go to a nearby city or make circles in the map and buy, sell expensive. I'm going to explain exactly what he means after this. It's just kind of a little bit of broken English that I'm reading. You do not have to sell all your items in a city or area. Sell what is expensive. If nothing is expensive, go to the next city. All right. Here's pretty much what he said. He pretty much said that, you don't have to buy everything and sell it in the next city. Some stuff you hold on to. Sell what's expensive, keep the rest, go to a different town, see what's expensive. If you have it, sell that. Buy something that's very cheap that you've seen that is expensive in different towns. Go back to the other town and sell it there. It's very basic. Very, very, very basic, you know what I mean? But, alrighty, what else we got? It's going to be a long, long video. So, did you make more tests? How many of your caravans destroyed in 3 years tests? I also want to ask you something. While you were testing, will you make speed of time passing FF 5 times or more by cheat? I think this can also affect. It seems like using time constants like 20 times, 30 times results in more caravans to be destroyed. I know this should not happen. Maybe there's a bug somewhere while calculating which party to catch while party is 23rd times. Okay. So he's stating that if you pass the time too quick, somehow that impacts that pretty much impacts how different stuff happens in the game, which shouldn't happen, but it might. Okay. I'm testing now for Caravan Lost. I'm only using the fast speed that is built into the game. There is pause, normal, and fast forward. No cheats or mods used. That's a long time testing. Alright, he's up for the cause. That's pretty cool, pretty cool. Quick question. Did you run it for 3 years and not do anything else in the game to see the results were? Yes. There it is. What else do we got? Ooh, we got a map. And we got another reply. Okay. I'm copying this into a new post because I'm not sure you got the last one, and I spent 10 hours of testing yesterday. I want to make sure you see all of this. Jesus, that's a long time. He's dedicated to the cause. Appreciate that. There, I think, is the problem. We go right and grab them and send them back out. So there are 7 caravans on the map and almost the entire time. If one gets captured, let's say 60 days in, then you're running 6 caravans for the rest of the time. We send another right back out, so there is 7. I think this is why we are losing so many, because you aren't running 7 caravans for 3 years, and we are. I am 2 years into my test, and when I lose one, I go back out and send him back out as you would playing a game. I have lost 4 in under 2 years so far in my first test. Okay. In a normal game, you don't let them sit in a town for a year or 2. Actually, while typing this, I just passed 2 years and lost my 5th caravan. Here's the thing. Here's how I do it. Before I continue, here's how I do it. If the guy is all the way across the map, he's fired. He's out of the kingdom. He's out of the clan. I go to the town. I get another guy. Start a caravan. That's what I do. Hey, it is what it is. Tough luck. But all right, let's get back to it. So editing this with results till I see a response. Test your way, lost 4 caravans. Second test, I stopped after 2 years after losing 5 caravans. Now doing it the way we do in the game, sending them back as soon as they are captured. First run, 7 caravans lost. Second run, 8 caravans lost. How about a compromise? We have 1,500 regular caravans, a 22,500 caravan with higher troop tiers. When they lose troops in battle and replace them in town, they have higher, or this still higher troop tier. Okay, so he's asking if, let's say, a higher tier troops, the caravan with the higher tier troops, if they do lose some troops and they go to a town to get more troops, are they also high level troops, or are they low level troops? But I guess the wages would change then as well. How about a 30,000 caravan with high level troops and a 40 size limit? So you pay more and have to more upkeep for 10 more troops. Here's the thing. Would people, okay, so would people be okay with this? Now hear me out. So you have 15,000 for a regular caravan. We have 22.5 thousand for a caravan with higher troops, but it's also 30. I think if you want one with 40 size, let's make it 50,000. You know what I mean? Let's make it 50,000 because 40, like the dev stated, it might not get touched ever. So 50,000, is that okay? And then also, what about what's it called? Like a group of caravans. Like what about like an end game feature of group of caravans? Let's say you spend 200k. Now hear me out. You might be like, oh, that's an absurd amount of number. Hear me out. You spend 200k, but it's a caravan group of, let's say, 3 or 4 caravans that are forever stuck together and to have like about 100 troops. Would you guys be cool with that? Let me know. I know it's kind of an outlandish idea. You know, it might be broken, might need some tweaks, but let me know what you guys think about that. So the dev replies, thanks for the feedback. I also tested lots yesterday, and in 3 years I lost 2 to 3 caravans on average in your save file. I think it is not important. It is not so important spawning them again because in most times I have an active 5 to 6 caravans already. No big difference happens if I have 7. So in 3 years, losing 2 to 3 caravans average is not a big deal. Even losing 6 caravans is not a big deal. They have huge incomes, so the system is balanced currently. Even if you lose 7 caravans in 3 years, you will continue making them because you know they are so profitable. We do not have to make them OP. Okay. Now I need to pass war peace calculations. They're far more important. About fish prices you posted yesterday, some item prices average can be 1.5 times in 1 to 2 years, especially if you raid most fish. If you raid most fish villages, but after some time, they again turn back to normal. I tested this previously, lots, and here's a chart. As you can see, item price averages for items can go up to two times or 3 times, and then return to lower values again. I accept there's a general inflation in prices, about 50% on average in 10 plus years, but it's minor again compared to other problems. Alrighty, so he states even losing those caravans in those 3 years, it's still profitable. Because obviously you keep making them more of them, and the developers, they don't want to make the caravans overpowered. And to be honest with you, before the fix to make caravans 30 troops maximum, caravans were overpowered. I don't want to hear any discussion about it. They were literally indestructible sometimes. Some caravans of mine had 76 troops, 90 troops. Who's going to attack those caravans? Nobody. Yes, a lord with 200 units might attack it, but here's the problem. When lords have more than, let's say, 150 troops, 200 troops, they can't even catch up with the caravan that has 78 78 troops or something like that, because they're faster. So therefore, caravans before the patch to make them 30 max troops, they were indestructible pretty much. So they were overpowered. And you know, if we go down to the calculations, obviously the developers of the I don't know. I think caravans are in a good spot. That's my opinion. Some people might think differently. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I do agree that the war and peace right now is a bigger aspect that needs to be looked into, because right now caravans do work. They do make profit. Yes, sometimes unfortunate circumstances happen and all of them can just get destroyed. That also happens. But, you know, generally speaking, they do make their profit. So let's check out this table. So this is for his game, obviously, and this is pretty much showing how prices rise up. But then obviously, because prices rise up, because obviously, like, let's say you raid all the fish villages, the price of fish will go up because there's less fish on the market. And then obviously, once the villages are back in order, the prices go back down and equalize. So, yeah, kind of cool list. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm going to link this thread down below, so if you guys want to go check out this list, kind of examine it. Just realize this isn't like the average game. Like, this isn't like the list that's going to work in every single person's game, right? This is just for the this player's save game, right? This is the list made off of that, so just keep that in mind. I can't even continue. First one, there are too many crashes from fighting and visiting castles. Most of these crashes will be fixed in today's hotfix. Thank you for your work too. There it is, boys. So that's it's a long video. It's like 40 minutes. Jesus. But here it is. You got some caravan info, got some caravan information. Let me know what you guys think about it. What are your thoughts on caravans, overall game prices and all of that? Ask me any questions, any concerns. And like always, stay safe.